The Detroit Pistons absolutely put the clamps on the Toronto Raptors at Scotiabank Arena, 113-95. And this might be the least amount of notes that I've made this season, to be completely honest with you, because, I mean, boy, do we have some things we got to talk about here. And, you know, guys, I just got to be completely honest with you, because you saw it right from the first quarter in this game. The Detroit Pistons are on a completely different level than the Toronto Raptors. And that is the first thing that we have to admit here when it comes to the Detroit Pistons. These guys are for real. And I've seen them play this season on and off, but seeing a whole 48 minutes of these guys are for real. And the Raptors had absolutely no answer for these guys all game. All game. I'm going to sound like a broken record on this episode in regards to how much the Detroit Pistons were all over the Raptors in this one. They had nothing. They had nothing to go up against the Detroit Pistons with.
It's happening over here during whole season. I've been calling it back. It's a complete crap. This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
Nothing. So before we even get into this game here, I will say this, okay? Jakob Poeltl returned after missing 24 games for the Toronto Raptors. He is on a minutes restriction, obviously, hasn't played in over 7 weeks. Colin Murray-Boyles did not play in this game. He is out still with that left thumb injury. Duran did not play, suspended 2 games. Beef stew 7 games for that brawl in Charlotte that we all saw. And so, first time since December 21st, you're seeing Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and Poeltl. Okay, and so to start this game, Poeltl scores Raptors' first points off the pick and roll with one RJ Barrett. And then pretty much it was just all downhill from there. Because Paul Reed, who looked like the second coming of Michael Jordan in this game. Okay. I mean, are you kidding me? Just an exaggeration there, obviously. But I mean, early in this game, Paul Reed, he starts off the game 5 of 5 from the field. Okay. He had 11 points with 7:53 remaining in the first quarter. Yes, you heard me correctly. 5 of 5 from the field with 11 points with 7:53 remaining in the first quarter. And the Pistons were just bullying the Raptors early on, especially defensively. 18-10 Pistons lead with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. They were shooting 7 of 8 from the field. And then the Pistons subsequently go on an 8-0 run. They're dunking all over the Raptors. It's now 22-10 with 5:38 remaining. Darko calls a quick timeout again. And Paul Reed is just absolutely killing guys. He's got to be the best third center in the NBA. Because there was just no stopping him. It was ridiculous. And one thing that I loved about what Bickerstaff did early on was that Azor Thompson, he put him on the point guards. He put him on Quickly, put them on Shed, and it did cause some havoc for our point guards a little bit. And it was a good move from Bickerstaff. That's a heads-up play. Scotty, big two-hand dunk, put back. And then he had a monster left-handed slam off of a pass from Jacoby Walter, alley-oop. And then Barnes picks up his second foul with 2:30 remaining. Then he picks up his third foul with 1:21 remaining off of an inbound pass going to Paul Reed. And before you know it, the Raptors are shooting 8 of 24 from the field and 1 of 9 from three-point range. They were a 10-point deficit after the first quarter, 29-19 Pistons. And pretty much at this point, you knew this was going to be a rough night for the Raptors. And I'm seriously telling you, you cannot tell by just the box score. If you saw how the Detroit Pistons were playing defense tonight, I'm telling you, like they were animals. They were all over these guys. Even when you look at these field goal numbers, they held the Raptors to 75 field goal attempts in this game. 75 field goal attempts in this game. I would like to know how close that is to being their season low. Because I'm not sure if they've shot less field goals than that in a game this season. Absolutely crazy. 10 of 32 from 3-point range. They did get to the free throw line 23 times, made 21 shots. Out rebounded by 11, 46 to 35. I mean, just a phenomenal defensive game put on by the Detroit Pistons in this one. And then on the other hand, you're looking at a guy like Cade Cunningham, who comes out in the second quarter, drills a three. He hits 3 of them in a row. He then has 13 points with 9:35 remaining in that second quarter. And once again, I put in my notes, the Pistons are just all over them. The Raptors literally could not move with 9:08 remaining in the second quarter. The Raptors look helpless on defense. Darko calls another timeout because they literally, I'm not joking, I have it right here in my notes. They literally could not pass the ball. They could not pass the ball. Detroit was denying everybody who was coming towards the ball. Everyone. So I'm not saying like they weren't willing to pass. They couldn't. There was no one to pass the ball to. Detroit was denying everyone. And they put on big lineups. They got some big guards out there as well. 44-31 for the Pistons with 7:41 remaining in that second quarter. Barnes comes back in because he had foul trouble, comes back in with 6:40 remaining with 3 fouls in that second quarter. And, you know, it was interesting to me because when you watch a game like this, and like I mentioned to you, Detroit, clearly real deal. This had a playoff feel to it in regards to what the defense would be like in a playoff game. And when the game slows down and the Raptors can't really get out and run, listen, fast break points in this game was 14-9 for the Pistons. 14-9 for the Pistons. That's already a bad sign. That's already a bad sign. The Raptors went up against a team that was just completely on a different level in this league. Like they were on another level here, folks. I promise you. I promise you. And as much as some people might want to say, you know, well, the Raptors weren't just on their game tonight. That's not the case. The Pistons took them out of their game tonight. Guys, I'm telling you, you've listened to me for a while now. I don't just come on and say these things. If I'm telling you this, it's because that's what happened. And I'm telling you that the Pistons ran all over these guys. They were helpless tonight. Brandon Ingram, okay, because they were talking about him. Obviously, congrats to him. And he's going to the All-Star game, and we're all happy about that. He has made 34 shots in the last 4 seconds of the shot clock with 4:45 remaining in that second quarter. So he's really doing damage at the end of shot clocks. And so he did nail a tough turnaround jumper at the end of the shot clock midway through that second quarter. But overall, there was just no steady rhythm, no steady flow for the Raptors offensively in this game where they can really put together some decent runs. Pistons also go on an 8-0 run. It's now 56-42. It's a 14-point game. And I mentioned here that the Raptors look shook. They just look shook at that point. Quickly had 11 points in the queue. He was 3 of 5 from 3-point range. 18 points in the quarter for Cunningham. 67-52, 15-point lead at the half. And listen to this number. Rebounding, it was 32-13 at the half for the Pistons. Cunningham had 22 points. Reed had 18 points at the half. He was 8 of 9 from the field. And I mean, my goodness, let's look at some of the numbers here for the Raptors. 13 points for Brandon Ingram, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line with 1 block, 2 turnovers. RJ Barrett, 30 minutes, 16 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, gave you a steal and a block as well. Guys couldn't even get shots up, for goodness sakes. Scotty Barnes was 5 of 13 from the field with 17 points in 30 minutes as well. 7 of 7 from the free throw line with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Jakob Poeltl in this game, 20 minutes, didn't look too bad. He still has a lot to get still in shape. He's got a long way to go there. But 20 minutes in this game, 9 points, 4 7 from the field, 6 rebounds, just 1 turnover in this one. Emmanuel quickly had 18 points in 32 minutes, 7 of 15 from the field, 4 9 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. And I just mean, wow. Just wow in this one. Jamal Shed, 24 minutes, no points, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal. They put the clamps on him. Jacoby Walter in 19 minutes gave you 3 points. Trace Jackson Davis, 10 minutes, 0 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Mamu Kelishvili, 7 points in 20 minutes, 2 of 8 from the field. These guys can do anything. Okay, I'm reading everything out to you guys. They could not do anything against these guys. And I think it was a bit of shock, to be completely honest with you, because the Raptors have gone up against good teams this year. And yes, they've been blown out against some of them, but this one felt different. Like some of the other games, you could tell that the Raptors weren't necessarily themselves. They were missing guys, bad turnovers and things of that nature. The Pistons took these guys out the game. It wasn't necessarily that they were playing bad or poorly. The Pistons took them out the game. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And so now you go to that third quarter and Cunningham comes out, drills another 3, and he ties the season high with 6 threes in this one. Let's see if that's all he ended up with. But he had 30 minutes, 28 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 6 of 11 from three-point range, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, a block. And the guy can defend as well. I told you about the 22 points from Paul Reed. Duncan Robinson, 13 points with 25 minutes, 2 of 5 from three-point range, and 4 of 8 from the field overall with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. Tobias Harris also gave you 12 points in this game. And so this was a good test for the Raptors because you can kind of evaluate them a little bit more and see where that improvement needs to come in. And I'm also happy that we saw this game right before the trade deadline, because what it tells you is that it's not necessarily just all about talent. This is about a mindset. This is about a mindset. Okay? Mindset over roster, because I'm reading to you a bunch of names here. This is not some team that's filled with all-stars. They got a bunch of good, hard-nosed, solid, grimy players, okay? Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, Paul Reed, Azor Thompson, Javonte Green, Karis LeVert, Herder. I mean, these guys, Jenkins as well is a good player. Isaiah Stewart wasn't there. Jalen Duren wasn't there. This is when you watch Bickerstaff, man, and you see Bickerstaff on the sideline. When you see these Detroit Pistons, you see the way they play, how physical they are. And when I'm telling you that these guys are slapping and hacking on every play, just physical, you can't even run through the lane without getting touched up. All right? You will feel them, okay? When you look at Bickerstaff, you look at Cade Cunningham and all the other guys on their team, it's like they came in with suits and a briefcase. This was all business. This is all business. They ain't smiling and kikiing with each other. Ha ha ha. Yeah. No, they're not doing none of that. No showboating going on after they're making shots and all that kind of crap. They ain't doing any of that. They're locking your ass up. They're scoring and getting their ass back on defense. Elbows, fists, chest, bumping, pushing, slapping, scraping. I mean, these guys are serious. I mean, I'm being for real here. I'm a little taken back because, damn it, I knew the Pistons were good. Don't get me wrong. I knew the Pistons were good. But I didn't know they were this tough, physical bruisers. Like, this was something else, man. Once again here, Paul Reed killing the Raptors at this point. 22 points, 10 of 11 from the field. And he was just going to the rim at will at this point. Scotty picks up his fourth foul on Cunningham going to the rim in the open court. And the Pistons are just big and physical and have speed, size. 84-66 Pistons, 4:13 remaining in that third quarter. And the Raptors had a 20-point deficit. Pistons had a 20-point lead after the third quarter, 94-74. And the Raptors, to be completely honest with you, I've said it before, they were just helpless against this team at this point. When they play the Pistons again, they're just going to have to play them with a complete different level of tenacity and fierceness and physicality, because these guys are just rough. And I mentioned to you that Duren wasn't there, and either was Beef Stew. What would happen if those guys were in the lineup? Pistons relentless defensively, all over them, physical, hard-nosed. Pistons first team to every rebound, and I'm reading my notes. They're the first guys to every rebound, every loose ball. And the Raptors, with 6:15 remaining in that fourth quarter, had 15 turnovers at that point. And then Darko empties the bench with 4 minutes remaining. And that was all she wrote.
What are you laughing at, pig boy? You find a piece of candy in your pocket?
I mean, there are things that they are going to have to discuss. I mean, over this break, these coaches are going to have to sit down and watch a lot of film of this game, because I'm telling you, if you get a chance, go watch this game in 30 minutes or watch the replay if you have it on NBA TV Canada, or if you can find the replay wherever you can get it. Just watch it. You won't really get the full extent if you just go on YouTube and watch the highlights. But if you get the chance to see how these guys played defensively, how physical they were, just all over these guys, just didn't let them breathe. I mean, it was a thing of beauty, a thing to watch. And from a defensive standpoint, damn it, this is what the Raptors got to aspire to be. Because I'm telling you, just rough bruisers. And it was actually really, really nice to see from a defensive standpoint, because you don't see teams play defense like this too often. All right, at MikeRoach7 on IG, at MikeRoach23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the Mike Roach Show. Looking forward to All-Star Weekend, which I'm really not sure why, because it's kind of a disappointment every single year. But I'm looking forward to seeing all the people that we have representing the Toronto Raptors organization over the weekend. The Raptors come out of the break against the Chicago Bulls, I believe, in Chicago. And so hopefully Colin Murray-Boyles will be back at that point, and the Raptors have a full roster. I will be coming to you with a lot of content over the next, I guess, week, since we don't have any Raptors games. So I'm going to have to come up with some stuff and get creative for you guys, okay? But enjoy All-Star Weekend. I will be back either tomorrow or Friday with another episode. So this is the Mike Roach Show. Until then, I'm out.